Timer here real quick, and I don't have a timer.
You don't have time?
I just want to make sure I see it. Alright, my voice is scratchy. What is up, internet and people of the world? Just internet. What's up, internet?
Just internet.
This is Soviet number 4. Yep, Soviet number 4.
Is it a
By the way, good. Yeah, we're number 4. Episode number 4. How are you, man?
Doing alright, man. How are you? You sound your voice kind of scratchy.
Yes, I am sick, so I'm pushing through this.
What do you have?
I don't know. I just stuffy nose, and I left my tea up there. Alright, it's cool. My tea will get probably cold. Probably warm it up a bit later. So yeah, I have like I want to say like a little bit itchy throat as well. But we're gonna push through just to get this out. I hope everybody's doing great. We're gonna do a quick World Cup recap. What's been going on? Keeping up with the World Cup. Keeping up with the Kardashians. Nah, just kidding. Keeping up with the World Cup. No, I haven't. So we got Group A and B set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Uruguay will be playing against Portugal.
Yes.
And Russia will be playing against Spain.
Yeah.
So far, you got the prediction right. You had
surprisingly.
You had Uruguay and Russia in those exact positions, first and second.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had
Portugal.
Well, you had Spain in first and Portugal in second as well.
Yeah.
And so far, games are going on right now for
Group Season D.
C and D. France already qualified in first, so we got that right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had Denmark in second, which happened. And now they're just waiting on Argentina. Croatia's coming out first. I had Croatia on first. I think you had a flip flop, right?
Yeah, I had flip flop.
Yeah, you had Argentina coming out first, so I got right with Croatia. Right now, we were watching the game. Last time we saw Argentina was tied with
1-1.
Nigeria 1-1. So as of right now, as what we were seeing, Nigeria is qualifying. And Argentina's eliminated.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll probably find out after we're done with the podcast.
Sure.
So I mean that's it for now. We can talk about like the rest of the news, but we don't want to like say it. It almost looks like it's all set. It's just tomorrow's games that are probably important.
Yeah.
Between Brazil's gonna qualify.
Yeah.
Whether Mexico gets first place or second, whether Germany gets second.
Yeah, there you go.
A couple of games, important games. Other than that, I think all the rest of the groups might be set.
Yeah.
I think it might be like Senegal could possibly make it.
Yeah.
Colombia as well. That group is pretty interesting. You want to add anything to the World Cup?
Mexico better win.
Mexico better win. If there's any time for Mexico to win a World Cup, I think this is their best chance.
Yeah, man. Stacked player. Good. No,
They got a good team.
I would say stacked, but
They play well together.
They do. Unlike Argentina.
Yeah, they're Team Messi, like I told you. Even one of the guys on the TV show.
Yeah, everyone's on that.
Yeah, he said Team Messi. Well, I think I was fighting them like, it's not Team Messi.
But it is.
It was kind of like our conversation earlier in the beginning.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right about that. I mean, we saw today they passed it to him and
they finally passed it to him. Like,
he scored. Yeah,
he
so
scored.
it's one of those where just pass it to Messi. Or like when you were in school, they were like pass it to the best guy in the team.
Right.
And just let him score and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's how Portugal plays. I mean,
pretty much. Yeah.
He's doing the work. Ronaldo was doing all the work.
Sure.
So we're gonna move on to a quick topic of mine. I wanted to talk about today. I think 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago it was in Chicago. We had the gay pride parade. It was all about pride, showing who you are, be true to yourself. I just want to talk about that. Like, one day I was at the gym by myself, and usually I wear. You've seen the shirts I wear. They're usually like Nintendo shirts, like geeky stuff. And I was just like, hey man, I like your shirts, dude. And I was like, thanks. And he's like, how do you like have you always been like that? Like, he was asking me questions, like, he was like interviewing me or something, and he was asking me questions like, man, you like you're true to yourself, man. You like to show like what you like. You're not afraid to show that. And I'm like, were you always like that? He asked me if I was always like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like growing up, I mean, I was like that. I wore whatever I liked, you know. It felt like
I remember.
if I had a DBZ shirt with Goku on it, and I'd be like, I like Dragon Ball Z, I'm gonna wear a shirt Dragon Ball Z, or you know, soccer jerseys. I usually wore like um, video game shirts, Spider-Man shirts. Like I didn't care what other people thought, you know. I was just like, you know, somebody. And then there was times when people were like, man, why do you wear that stuff? You're like sometimes in high school or something, they're like, why do you wear that stuff? Or middle school, going from middle school to high school.
Yeah.
They'd be like, why are you wearing that stuff? Like, you're like
nerd.
14 years old already. You shouldn't. That's like kid stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, sometimes I think, you know, there's a difference between a nerd and a geek, because nerds are like
smart.
Yeah, I want to say that the smart ones, like wear the little calculators right here, you know, little pens on the shirts, right? And that wasn't me. I mean, I was like smart, but I wasn't like super smart, you know. But I considered myself more of a geek, you know. Like I watched I got a lot of shit for watching pro wrestling, WWE. And they'll be always telling me like, you know, that stuff is fake. And I'm like, obviously I know it's fake, man. It's not real fighting, you know. It's not boxing or MMA. I knew that, but it's WWE. It's entertainment. It has that in its name, and I knew it's all scripted. Like,
you get to you get to a certain point. You're like, alright. I don't watch it. I used to watch it too, but then I don't know. I guess like I just got busy and I didn't watch it anymore. But I'll still catch like the recaps on YouTube and stuff, like what happened.
Yeah, that's what I do now because I don't have time to watch them.
Yeah, same.
But like, yeah, I was just like telling this guy like, oh man, you just can't like let others
dictate.
Right, pull you down or something, like bully you. I mean, I was alright for myself. I did alright for myself because eventually I took some boxing lessons. So, like, if anybody started to like shit with me, like I can defend myself. You know, I could fight. So yeah. So it was okay for me. It's hard for others, but I mean, especially for those who don't know how to defend themselves. Yeah. You know, sometimes somebody's not gonna defend you, but
I think too it has a lot to do with like who our friends were in high school and stuff, or like middle school and high school and stuff.
What do you mean?
With the group you had, I don't think like.
I mean, a lot of people didn't have things in common as I did. Like I played video games, I watched anime, I watched wrestling. I read comic books. I read mangas. Like none of our in our clique, nobody in our clique did any of that. You know.
True. But I don't think we ever made fun of like each other for that.
No, not in the beginning. In the beginning, for me, they did. Like, I remember like we had like this like remember in middle school we had a table, and then like, I don't want to mention names or anything, but like there were some that were like sitting on the end of this side. I don't know if you remember.
I kind of do, yeah, a little bit.
But they were sitting at the end of that side, and they were like, it was like kind of like a hierarchy, you know.
You know
the hierarchy. It was a hierarchy, man. Like you know, there's a hierarchy, and there was a hierarchy in that group. Like I'm not gonna mention any names.
Mention names, what you did?
No. But there was a hierarchy, and these guys were up here, and I remember, I hung out with like 3 specific people, and this isn't including you. Like I'm talking about like other people towards I'm talking about 3 specific people. I don't know if you remember, but I hung out with 3 specific people.
I could be wrong.
And they were more like me, and maybe afterwards. I don't know if I should. Well, I don't want to call their names, man. But I wish I remember their last names. So I could have just said their last names, but
no, that's weird. It's really like last names.
Yeah. But it was like 3 specific people that they were into like things that I was into. Yeah. And I liked hanging out with these guys because I had more things in common with them. Mm-hmm. But we were like at the end of this table, at the end of this side. I remember that.
I'm trying to
like because the aisle was like this, so there's like the tables like the other tables like this, and then I remember there was a stage. In the middle school. Yeah. And towards the end of that stage was like where all the.
Yeah, because we used to take like the first 2 tables like right on.
Yeah.
As you came into like the lunchroom and stuff, we just grabbed the first 2 tables right there. I remember that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was weird, man. I think it was like
I mean, that was me. I mean, I was like all around the place, man, because I still liked, like I said, I mentioned all those things that I liked, and then, but I still listen to like hip hop music, because I grew up with hip hop, man.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, there was still things like, I mean, I still like sports. I still liked like hip hop music. There were still things that were considered cool that I liked, that I was into, you know.
Yeah.
And there were those things that I liked, that I was into, that was considered like uncool.
Yeah.
So I was like around everywhere, you know. And that's what I was telling this guy. I'm like, oh, I didn't really care, because I was like I could relate to like so many people. Like, it's like there's group like the skateboarders, the cool kids, the mad kids, you know. And it was just like, if there was a table for me, I'd probably be like somewhere in the middle, because I can never be
just with
one thing. I can never be in one thing. I don't know if you had to deal with any of that stuff, but I remember this guy was telling me this at the gym. He's like, "Oh man, I didn't deal with it right." But I mean, if you can't deal with, like, it's like, what I'm trying to say is like, don't
care what people think.
Right, don't care what others think about you. Like, you be you. You be yourself, man.
I don't think I ever. We hang out all the time, right. But I think same thing in like high school and middle school. Like, I was like everywhere. Like, I had like a different group. Like, I would hang out with a bunch of people. It wasn't really like a certain group that I would hang out with. Same thing in middle school, but I do get that hierarchy that you were talking about, because it's kind of there, yeah. But even then, I don't think we ever like made fun of anybody.
No.
Like, intentionally, like, oh yeah, let's go pick on this kid. I don't think we ever did that. I think we joked, like, amongst each other, you know, but because like that's friends all the time. But I think just having like a group of friends like that helps out too. I don't think you feel it as much. Because if you were like to not have any friends, you're like loner over there in the corner and shit. But it was a diverse group. I remember a couple of people that maybe didn't necessarily fit that mold, but that were still there.
That mold?
Yeah, back when we were like, you know, if like, what would you wear back in the day? Like, if you were cool, like you had like the South Pole, and you remember that?
Right.
I remember a few people that didn't have it. I didn't have South Pole.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
I never liked it. I think I tried getting into it, and I was like, yeah, that shit ain't for me. I think I had like one or two like South Pole shirts, and that was it. But I didn't like it. I was like, it's not my style. You know what I'm saying? It's not my style. But I think that was like the cool thing back in our day.
To
like
wear.
Like if you wore South Pole, like you were like a cool kid. There was Echo. Like, again, like I never liked Echo, so I never wore that cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that was like our thing, like as when we were coming up or when we were growing up, when being younger. It was like if you had South Pole on or Echo, or like if you wore like Fat Fawn, Filas, if you wore like the baggy jeans and stuff, and like remember the rubber bands on the legs?
Yeah, the rubber bands.
Like if you wore all that, like you were cool. I do remember like a few people that didn't have that. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever did that. I think I may have done the rubber bands. That was just because I would wear like a lot of blue jeans, and obviously
the blue jeans.
The white shoes. Yeah, they were staying in shoes, so that's why I would wear them. But other than that, I can think of a couple people that didn't necessarily fit that criteria. They were still in the group, and like we still hung out with them and stuff. There's like a few. I think I top of my head right now. But yeah, I think it helps out. Having a group of diverse friends. It definitely helps out.
Yeah. That's just something I wanted to like talk about, you know.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember you telling me the guy. I was just kind of, we were at gym together, and like he's talking to the guy, and I'm just there like.
Alright, that's because that's the words he starts talking to me now.
Yeah.
But I mean, the first time I met him, I was doing night dating by myself. Yeah.
It was that same guy, right? The one that was like punching like the punching shit. Yeah. He's cool. I when I used to go to gym, when I come constantly going. He used to always say what's up, and I was like, what's up, dude?
Yeah, he was just telling me about his like what happened to him back then. And he was just telling me like, I don't know if like you had the same problems or not.
Yeah.
Because he had the same thing like the same likes as I did.
Yeah.
So
I think both. I mean, I don't know. I like stuff like that too. Like I would go to the library and read comics.
Oh yeah. I remember you saying some stuff like that.
I like that shit. I like comics.
What do you got?
should we just get into well, this was kind of your topic too a little bit.
Was it?
Yeah, because you mentioned it. You mentioned so that I'm sure like everybody knows, but there's been like a lot of like recent like how would you describe? I mean, I would definitely say like
racial stuff.
I would definitely say there's a lot of racist people out there in the world. There's a lot.
Yeah, it's never gonna go away.
It's something that you can't ignore. Something that's always gonna be there. And it's like a shame that that in 2018 we still can't accept it. Like that, there's other people here. I mean, not necessarily here in the U.S., but I think here in the U.S. we're such a big country that it's more prominent.
Which is dumb because America, the United States, is built on immigrants.
Yeah, and like different races and stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of videos out there of like people just like berating other people with like racist comments, or the one that you mentioned to me, and I was like, oh yeah, it's a good example. But the one of the little girl that was selling water bottles. If you guys haven't seen the video, she's basically this little girl selling water bottles, and I think I don't know if she's like black or if she's black. She's black.
Yep.
Okay, so she's black. I thought she was like, you know, how like some Dominicans or something, like they're dark skinned. So I don't know if she was.
Oh no, she was African American.
So she was African American. And this lady just like decided to call the police on her, or I don't know who she called, but I think the police was called.
Yep.
Because she didn't have a permit to sell water, which I think is a very stupid idea. Like, well, it's an 8-year-old girl. Like, don't be a dick. You know what I'm saying? That's my response to that is don't be a dick.
Yeah, because it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Like,
and you see kids always selling like lemonade.
Yeah.
Lemonade
like,
stands.
you don't berate, go to them and be like, "Where's your permit?" Like, you don't do that. It's
right.
Like a kid, you know.
But she was 8 years old.
Yeah, 8 years old. Like, this kid is like, the kid may not show it, but this kid's like possibly traumatized now, or like thinks like
her entrepreneurship skills have been ruined. Possibly,
yeah.
Maybe, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But yeah, I mean, like it's
hope she can still be a businesswoman.
Stuff that you gotta like think about, like you don't know the effects, and then like I think she was, so from what I read, she was trying to go to like Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody like a Good Samaritan or just somebody that saw the video got in contact with her, and they actually bought her like 4 tickets to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's really nice, man. I wish I had like the money and resources to do stuff like that. I'm broke as hell, but
yeah. So the lady's name, I forgot her name, her actual name.
Yeah, I don't know if you.
They ended up calling her Permit Patty, but her name was. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
Oh, Allison Attell. She's
a
white woman. Yeah, she was a white woman, and this was in. I don't know where this was at.
Actually, I don't know where they either. I don't know if they.
But yeah, her defense was, yeah, quote unquote defense.
You can't really.
Her defense was that she was. I mean, it's hot. She probably got annoyed. You know, she had her window open. She didn't have air conditioning in her apartment or whatever, and she heard somebody yelling like I got water, you know, for $2 or something. I don't know how much she was charging, but she was just like advertising her
water,
her little business thing, and she when she goes outside, she's I don't know asking for a permit or something. I don't know, but like she says the mom threatened her and started like using profanity and stuff, like swearing at her and threatening her life. I think that was it, just like that. So she was forced to call the police or something like.
Yeah, I mean, if you see the video, like she's.
And she claims that she wasn't calling the police,
Uh-huh.
but that she was just like finding out like permit things, like
yeah,
what she needs to get, but like that little 8-year-old girl needs to get for her to sell water, which is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. She can't really. There really is no defense for her because.
Yeah, I don't know how you can come up with like a credible defense for it.
Yeah, because it's just an 8-year-old girl, like we said.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
hot. You're trying to sell. Some kids sell lemonade.
Yeah.
I don't know if you sold lemonade when you were a kid.
No, I never did.
I sold video games. Yeah, I don't know if I needed a permit, but I just like put my video games out there and started selling video games.
There you go, man. Entrepreneur.
Right.
You know? I think when it comes to stuff like that, I think if you like obviously like I mean race is definitely a factor in here. I think if it was a white
boy or a
little white girl selling or white boy selling,
she probably would have bought some.
She probably would have bought some. She'd been like, she wouldn't said shit. You know, it's sad that like it has to come to that, but it's like, so you're telling me you're gonna call the police and get a permit for this 8-year-old black girl, but if it's the same, like it's an 8-year-old white kid or 8-year-old white girl, who's gonna buy some? You gotta like, if that's not the way you think, something wrong with the way you think. You shouldn't be thinking like that, especially for like kids. Like kids trying to be an entrepreneur. Like,
and there's been other occasions of it. Just
there's been a lot.
I remember hearing something about Barbecue Becky.
There you go.
Where a bunch of African Americans were like having a barbecue at a park, I want to say. And then she like complained.
She called the cops.
Called the cops on them.
And then the cops came, and then did you see the video? Right?
I didn't see the video of that one.
So yeah, so she's calling the cops. She's like, because I think she said it. I think like her reason for calling the cops was because like it was dirty or something.
Like unsanitary or something?
Yeah, it was like unsanitary or like they weren't allowed to do that, but it's a park.
Yeah.
That has like things like grills and stuff and all that other stuff. So her defense was like they couldn't do it or something. And then she calls the cops, and then the cops actually show up, and like you see in the video, like the guys are just like standing there, like you know, like in their little barbecue stuff or whatever, and they're just standing there. And then there's like other white people there, and they're just like, why is she calling the cops? they're like perplexed as to why she's calling the cops, and like she's like because it's a park, but like they're not supposed to be doing that or something. But her defense was it wasn't even a defense; it was just like an argument. So then the cops actually show up, and then she starts crying, and she's like, "They're harassing me." And like, and then like the video pans out, and like they're just standing there like, it's like awkward as hell. Like, okay,
that's silly.
Yeah, man. Like she starts crying, and she's like, "They're harassing me," and she's like, she's still on the phone. I don't know who she's still on the phone with, but she still had the phone like this, so I don't know who she was calling, but yeah, it's like stuff like that. It's like there's no reason to be a dick like that, or to be an ass like that. You know what I'm saying? What's the other movie? So the one that I just showed you today, I don't think you had heard about it.
No, I didn't hear about this one.
It was about I'm sure you guys have heard about it. But it's a Manhattan lawyer who like went off on some people for speaking Spanish.
Workers?
Like, workers, and then he accused them of being undocumented. Which I'm like, okay, you shouldn't be doing that, but because you're a lawyer, you should be doing that. Like,
yeah, you should.
I'm sure they can sue you for like defamation and stuff like that because you're accusing them of something that they're not. So it's like, you would think these guys are lawyers. So
now, what was this guy like? He was mad because
he was just
he
mad
was
because
speaking Spanish in America.
Yeah, that was his argument or his.
Which is crazy because when I went to Korea, and we spoke like English or Spanish, and they weren't going crazy.
Exactly. I think
the Koreans were like, well, what are you doing? Yeah. This guy's speaking English or Spanish in our country. Like, you're gonna be in Korea, you gotta speak Korean. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like one of those like you know what I'm saying, like dumb, stupid stuff that people get mad over. Cause like you wouldn't like, I don't think you would. I think if it was a different language, they wouldn't bat an eye. I think they only do that with like Mexican people or like Spanish speakers. I don't think they do like if they go to Koreatown or something. They're not like, well, you should be speaking English because this is America.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of them like.
You're saying like if somebody goes to Chinatown.
Or like somewhere, you know, like
they speak the language over there.
Yeah, this like if you go to Chinatown, like they just hear like you know English.
Yeah, if I'm eating in a restaurant.
But I mean, they speak their language, so I don't think they would have the same balls per se to go to Koreatown or Chinatown and be like, you guys need to speak English because we're in America.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have the balls to do that. So it's like, or to anybody else.
Maybe with only Hispanics.
Yeah, I think it's only with Hispanic. I think it has a lot to do with the way people perceive us. I mean, we're good people.
We're good people.
Yeah, we're good people.
I think we're good people.
I think we're good people too. I mean, but yeah, that one.
But it depends on the person.
True, but I mean, generally speaking, I want to say like, if you hear like a Chinese man speaking his native language, you're not gonna be like, you speak English because we're in America.
Yeah.
Same thing with like somebody from like Africa. Like if they speak a dialect of their own language, you're not gonna be like, you speak English or something like that, or Russian or something like. You don't do. I mean, I've never heard of it. If there's an example out there, I would like to see it because I don't think I've ever seen a video or an interview or something of somebody's getting like shit talked because they're not speaking English. I see it with like a lot of Hispanic people because we speak Spanish and they don't like it, but I don't ever see it for somebody speaking like Russian or Swedish or French or something like that. I mean, I've never seen it, so I don't know. But if it exists, shit.
I'd like to see it.
I like to see it. See what that interaction is like, cause I want to see what like us. But back to that lawyer. So yeah, so he goes off, and then, of course the internet is the internet. So they end up finding who this guy is. I think his name was like Aaron something.
Did they find his website?
They found his website. He was for a law firm, his business, and like, they were all over this guy. Like his Google reviews went from like I think it's like a 4-star rating. It's like a 1.1. So his career is pretty much over.
Yeah, I know he ruined it for himself.
He really pretty much ruined it for himself just because he was being a dick, in my opinion. He's being a dumbass, and that's what happens. Man. Like, people don't like, especially with like internet now and like everything. Like you're gonna
get exposed. You're gonna be found out. You're gonna
yeah. Like you don't.
Somebody's gonna like.
Because someone's always gonna I think it's one of those like, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing that everybody's on their phone now. Because like you're on your phone, you're not like focused, but yeah, you're on your phone and you can't do things like this, and this guy gets exposed. Like, you gotta be smarter than that. Like,
nowadays you gotta be careful.
Yeah, I'm not saying go and be a racist, but if you are, like, do it in your own house. Like do it behind closed doors. Like, don't do it in public because like someone's gonna definitely be filming. Like, now everybody has a phone out and everybody's just ready to capture that, and like, you're gonna go viral like this guy, and then. Shit, you're
gonna go viral for the wrong reasons.
You're gonna go viral for the wrong reasons. Yeah.
You're gonna go viral and it's gonna ruin you.
And then I think some some news some news companies or like some news outlets, like they actually were chasing this guy down. Like they were asking him, "Why are you racist? Like why'd you say that?" And he's just like he had like a little like a scully cap on or something, and he had like an umbrella and he was covering himself, and then like somebody was like, "Oh, now you don't want to be seen, now you don't want to talk," but. You were like super tough to talk to those workers over there, right? He's like, why don't you want to talk now? I'm like, yeah, like why, like you're over here talking all this stuff, and now that you're getting confronted about it, it's like, oh no, I'm a good guy. Like, don't be like that. Don't be a dick. Just don't be racist in general,
Yeah, just don't be racist in general.
Don't be racist in general. That's what makes this country great. That so many races can come together. Just be fucking amazing.
That's what makes America great, right?
There you go. America's always been great. We're built on immigrants. The ones that came across, some of them came across on a ship, crossed through Ellis Island. Some of them crossed the border.
Okay.
Some of them were brought here. It's just how it is, man.
Now we're united.
Huh?
Now we're united.
Not so much, but
not so much.
We're
trying to be.
We're trying to. It's something you definitely work on. Just don't be
has to be hard though.
Yeah.
Race is something they cannot.
Yeah, just don't be racist. Other countries, I believe other countries, they also have it, but not as much as here, man. It's kind of sad that we're such a developed country, but yet we still have those stupid.
A lot to work on.
Yeah, stupid issues that we have to work on. It's kind of like. Pretty much, yeah. Shit, it's sad, but hey, fuck it.
Okay. I think that's it, no?
That's pretty much it.
Some topics right there.
Topics.
About being proud and proud of who you are and
not being a racist. Not being a racist, yeah.
Dang it.
He said dang it.
Dang, racist people. Alright. So that was subject number 4. Again, you can usually catch these on SoundCloud or our our blog, which all the links will be in the description below.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can watch it on YouTube. Oh, dang. I was throwing up like 2 days ago, so
there you go.
Get a little queasy. But yeah, that's it. Just watch more. Stay tuned for more.
There you go.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube one. Share the other ones.
Tell your friends about us.
Yeah, you can listen to us on the road, whatever.
You guys have any cute cousins out there? Hit us up.
Chill, man. All right. Hope you guys have a good day. See you next week. So that'll be number 5. And remember, what is it again? No. How do we all ended up?
Peace, love, positivity?
No! That's not ours, man.
What's ours? I forgot.
Always go for no.
Always go for no. There you go.
Always go for no, man.